Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Wednesday KVJ After the Show podcast. Here we go, baby. Got a storm of brewing. Got to keep your eyes on that thing. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad for us. 3 to 5 inches of rain is what we're looking at. Wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Going to be cracking in a little bit this afternoon, overnight, into tomorrow, and then hopefully by Friday afternoon it's gone.
Perfect weather for a little forking and porking.
Yeah, do both of those, huh?
Yeah.
Have you porked in the Beetlejuice costume?
No, I have not. This
That would get messy.
This is quite the undertaking.
That'd be some interesting role playing, though.
It would be, because I would go full gorilla in my character.
Do you require that she dress like Lydia?
I like that.
He now is getting it. This could happen.
All right. Giving me
Lydia.
Give me one of them boners.
Beetle boner.
Beetle boner.
Beetle bone.
Oh yeah. Love that.
Gotta watch yourself. Right towards the end of the regular show, we did a raise your hand poll, and all of us have accidentally walked or fallen into a body of water. Mine was peeing along the banks of the Hocking River back as a teenager. I fell in between 2 dock posts that were actually very sharp. I didn't realize that I'd pulled myself out by them, and the next day when I looked, it was just wide enough for my body to go between. If I had fallen an inch or two to the right or the left, I would have impaled myself.
Wow.
We would have lost Kev.
I know. I would have at least been massively hurt. And, you're kind of out in the middle of the country, too, and it was the middle of the night. So wouldn't have been good. So that was my falling into water story. Virginia, you fell off a dock, right? Trying to get on a boat or something like that?
I've fallen off a few things. I fell off a boat trying to get on a dock. Yeah, that's the story that I told you that I was
That's fun to
a
watch.
little bit intoxicated.
Yes.
And I thought it was cute to wear wedges. What a dumb thing. Don't wear wedges on a boat. I know you think you look cute, but you just look stupid.
Okay.
And I've also fallen off of a dock just hanging out before. Lost my footing, fell off a dock. Luckily, it was not like crazy shallow. I didn't break my leg or neck.
Uh-huh.
And when I was little, I fell off of a seawall into the water and had to be scooped out by a grown-up.
Okay. Yeah.
I've done it a lot.
Yeah. Bird.
Oh, I could make a whole greatest hits album.
A lot
the
of plunges into water.
The one that I think I told you guys the other day was a Halloween party, and there was a lot of hot girls there. And I'm walking in and making my big grand entrance, like, "Hey, how's everybody?"
Fell in the
Boom,
pool.
and you went.
I mean, I thought I was walking on the ground, so it was such an alarming
All right.
fall.
I get you, right?
Yes.
I get you. Yeah, no doubt. And Denny's, too. He's in there running KVJ TV. 2 people have been in a crash where the car was totaled. Virginia and Jay Bird, both raise your hands on that. Bird, I think we've heard about your I-95 experience.
I've been in, I believe, 3 that have been.
Wow.
One with your husband, Panda, back in the day. He was driving my truck at the time, and we got into an accident, and it was pretty totaled. It's pretty fucked.
Dang, he wrecked your truck. Did he buy you a new one?
No, but I think someone in my family yelled at him. I don't know. I can't remember. And then, the 7-car pileup I had on I-95, which I shouldn't be here, to be quite honest with you.
And
That
Virginia.
was supposed to be funny, by the way.
I know. She's
It's a Beetlejuice face that you made. I shouldn't be here, by the way.
I shouldn't be your cat. I should be dead. That's hilarious.
You are dead.
I get it.
You're Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I get it now.
And Virginia, you were in a totaled vehicle?
When I was little, I was in a Pinto
Ooh.
with my dad and mom, and my little sister was a baby, and we got into an accident, and a big truck rammed right into the back of our Pinto. And my mom got real effed up because she had the back seat like down and she was like laying like it was a bed and she was sleeping on it. I was in the front seat and my little sister was just crawling around
sister.
That tells you how, like,
Oh, wow.
safety really wasn't that big of a deal. I don't even know if we had a car seat for my little sister. I don't think we did.
Oh, probably not. It was what, the 70s, 80s?
Yeah, it would have been the 80s because my sister was born in 79, so it probably would have been 80.
Yeah.
And the car got totaled. My mom got real effed up because her foot got crunched under where the car got hit because her feet were facing the back of the vehicle.
Right. Oh, wow.
Ooh, it was bad. And then the other time, I was a passenger and we flipped a truck. My boyfriend at the time, in the rain, flipped the truck.
I bet he was such a badass.
No, he wasn't.
Speeding around in his truck,
Speeding in the rain like a real dumbass.
listening to fucking Guns N' Roses. Probably.
Probably. Who knows? But yeah, that one was way totaled.
Now, Virginia and Jaybird are the two as well that have had more than one operation. Did it come from your car accidents or something unrelated?
No, thank God.
Unrelated.
Okay. All right.
I've had quite a few operations. I was born with the hernia, so I had to get hernia taken out. And on my 5th birthday, I believe, I almost died from my appendix. Had to go under the knife for that. I had microscopic surgery on my wrist when my hand went through a window and severed 6 tendons in my ulnar nerve. Then I had tonsils. Then I had my kidney donation. Then I had,
Wow.
I had a few more.
That's a lot.
I had a couple more. I forget.
Okay.
But yeah, I've had a lot.
What about yours, Virginia?
So a lot of mine have been elective.
Don't count. Your Honor, I don't think this should
did
count.
you do anesthesia for him?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
Most of them. I don't like to be awake. I certainly don't want to feel the pulling and tugging and cutting and no.
Thank you. Right.
My girlfriend, I watched her get a facelift and she was awake the entire time.
Oh my gosh.
Because they do that now. And I was like, nope, not for
No.
me. Knock me the hell out.
I would rather watch somebody speed bag my balls than to watch someone get a facelift. That sounds just, I couldn't watch it.
No.
I loved watching her do it. There's no way I would want to do it. I was fascinated by the process, but not for me, for her.
Okay. How did it come out?
And she looks great. I just asked her actually how she's feeling because she's about to be going on a year from having it.
Okay.
And she's very happy.
Okay. All right. Happy she did it, huh?
I guess so.
My operations, like I was about to fucking die and shit. Your shit's, Kev, I needed
I need a tit lift.
Kev, I had to get my widow's peak lasered off because, I mean, no one knows how about widow's peak but me.
Well, I had a boob lift twice. I had an augmentation back in the day. I had a lower tummy tuck, a little mini tummy tuck with the mommy makeover.
Okay.
I did under my chin, little lipo there.
Okay.
Twilight sedation. So I was kind of out of it, kind of in it. And then a little bit of lipo as well.
Who's got cooler operating stories? I mean,
Here's your rugged man. Yeah.
yeah, I think a little bit.
Oh, I mean, no one can compete with kidney donation.
Bullshit elective. I'm over here.
Saving lives.
Almost dying on my appendix.
I mean, literally, you're saving lives. I'm being vain. Not even close.
No.
How many times you never been on the knife once?
No.
Does the idea of going under an
Yeah. Love it.
the first couple times it happens to you,
Yeah.
the night before is always kind of a little nerve-wracking.
Well, I just had
yeah.
anesthesia recently when they went in my butt when I did the colonoscopy. They knock you out for that.
The procedure I had
Yeah,
done.
I know. That's part of my. I know. I know I got to do that, but kind of holding off on that.
The thing that I had done the other day, some people go under for what I did. I elected not to do it, but I could have gone under it. Going under is a weird feeling. If you've never had that,
Yeah,
they'll
I think
tell
so
you to count
too.
to 10, and it's
Yeah, I don't like it. There's none
It's
of it I
weird.
like. Yeah.
Whatever weirdness, though, comes from anesthesia, I think it'd be more weird to be awake during said procedure that they want to put me out for.
Oh no, I agree. But if
Yeah.
you've never been under before, the process is weird. That they tell you to count backwards or count to 10 or whatever. And
Yeah.
I mean, I never get past 1.5.
If someone's rooting around in my butt, I don't want to be awake for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, it depends what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, Virginia, you're the one person on the show that has created a fake social media account.
Yeah, I remember I created Kevin's hair, and I really kept up with it for a long time.
All right.
I was doing Twitter as your hair for quite a while, but then I felt like it was starting to cross the line from funny to mean.
It was very
Yeah.
insulting.
And then I felt like it was actually hurting your feelings, and that wasn't ever my goal.
He's a robot. He does not have feelings. But you were very cruel. You were
I
very
saw a
mean.
little mechanical tear,
Yeah.
An oil
some oil down his cheek,
like that's in there.
and then I knew I'd gone too far.
She would get all hammered up, and then but she was also insulting to.
And it was before you went to hair club too.
But you're also insulting to Kevin. You started getting into fights with people from KVJ Nation.
Yeah,
it just wasn't a good
thing.
look. It wasn't
Yeah.
good.
It was a little
Time-consuming.
sloppy. It was a little sloppy.
Yeah. Tiffany said, yeah, Kev, you got to go do that Twilight colonoscopy. It only takes like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, better than colon cancer. Yeah, I hear you. I've done the life imaging thing, the body scan there. I've done the poo in the box thing, and I realized that getting the colonoscopy, then go in, take care of polyps and all that kind of stuff. And probably around the holidays, it just, look, for me, if even taking any kind of time, it wrecks my regular schedule. And so I just got to get it around a time when we're off. So I'll probably be around the holidays. I'll go in and I'll, eat a bunch of, what do they call that stuff? The Christmas cake that people eat? What is it?
Fruitcake.
Fruitcake. Yeah, I ate a bunch of fruitcake and go get my colon tested.
They actually make you clean everything out.
Yeah, I know. I actually hear that's worse
That
than the
is-
procedure and everything else.
It's just
so.
multiple days. You have to start it like 2
Yeah.
days out.
See, and that's why I realized I need to have 2 to 3 days, because if I'm even sitting there and trying to get this show ready and I'm shitting my brains out, it will slow things up. And I'm in here trying to do the show and I'm playing shock, paper, scissors and I'm shitting my pants.
You're
Yeah,
playing
it's just-
shark, paper, scissors.
Yeah, it just no.
I was prepping here at work, and I can tell you it wasn't fun.
Yeah, we don't need any of the details.
I can tell you more.
Nope.
Okay.
Tell me less. Tell me less. You are the grossest.
Lisa said, it's great sleep, Kev. Ask for the tablets and not the drink. I'll do that. I do want to, I will, like with anything, I'll do my research and really get down and know exactly, okay, what can I expect and all that stuff. But
He is a man of research.
yeah, it's just one of those things where my mind is so much always on, work that I need to be able to unplug.
Take a little time to worry about your butthole.
Yeah.
That's
I will.
okay.
Around
You're
the
allowed
holidays.
that.
Yeah. Around the holidays.
Do
I
you have
probably
a
do.
snowflake butthole like that girl that we learned about?
Probably do. I've got snowflake everything. It's just,
No, I don't think you gotta. No, your butthole's strong.
Prove it.
I think you got a strong butthole. I think you got a healthy butthole.
I think my butthole's very demure.
Prove it. Prove it.
I've had the stories.
I think you might have the. Okay, maybe you don't have the toughest butthole, but I think you have the healthiest butthole. Does that make sense?
I think it is.
Okay.
That's why I feel pretty good. I feel like it is. It's good. I think it looks great. It looks great in photos.
It's got good reflexes.
It does.
So by
it's everything you want.
By default, because Virginia's been through pregnancy twice, do you have the toughest butthole on the show?
Great question. And can you do Kegel, like butt Kegels?
We've talked about this. I think you can do butt Kegels. I think we covered
I've
this
been
before.
doing them right
and
now.
make your butthole stronger.
Yeah. I could open up a Coke bottle.
Prove it. Prove it.
The old glass bottles.
We do have a Coke bottle.
where you need them.
Da-dink.
You're not talking about.
I don't know if you want to drink that Coke when it's done, but
If you open it, I think we have to drink
You're
it.
not talking about plastic, just twist and turn. We're talking about old school
Old school,
glass.
yeah.
Metal.
because I got an old school all-American
aluminum.
butthole. It's an old school all-American butthole. I mean, I've shot fireworks out of it. Of course,
You
it's all-American.
have. That's right. Multiple times.
Yeah, so come on.
I think we all have at this point, haven't we?
Yeah.
We did a weird. I found an old bit. I forget what channel it was on, but it was old. It was us picking up items with our butt.
Yeah, we've done that before. We recently did the grape. Yeah,
We
the
had
rock
to-
challenge.
But there was several different items we had to
Yeah,
guess.
I remember that.
I don't know. Are we going to be able to pick this up with our butt?
Yeah.
I say we bring it back. More butthole bits.
I think we just did. Yeah.
People are still talking about it. Someone stopped me in Publix about it.
Yeah.
Butthole October?
Yep. No, I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot going on in October.
You're right, there is.
Yeah. Got an email here. Got a few things to get through. Corrections, call-outs, all that kind of good stuff. Vicky had said, who still tests for COVID? Talks about COVID. Thinks about COVID. It's a cold. I stopped listening to you guys after 25 years because of your constant talking about it during 2020. And here you are again. A mask? Masks don't work. I can't believe it's 2024 and you're not informed enough about masks not working and COVID. Yeah, even if it is a cold, for me, Vicky, a cold is bad because
he's got bronchitis.
Yeah, and it affects my voice, and so yeah, I'm not worried about COVID and dying or anything like that, but yeah, I feel it's slightly different. It's nothing that I worry about. The N95 masks do a little bit as far as having a little bit of filtration with an N95 mask compared to nothing. Look, I don't wear masks. I was joking. That was just kind of a flippant conversation. Clearly, you're easily triggered. And I think not listening to the show is probably good for you because if you are easily triggered, I don't think this is a good show for you.
Said the COVID pussy.
Yeah.
Well, his mom also died from COVID, so he knows a thing or two about COVID. Step off, bitch.
Look, she was like Vicky. She was like she didn't believe it, and I'm cool with it. I'm not one of these COVID proponents. I'm not beating the table about it. I don't do mass shaming and all that. It was a flippant comment about being in a car with 4 people that were coughing, and I was worried that I would get a cold.
Big fucking deal. We talked about COVID once in 7 months.
I made a joke about COVID car because it just kind of worked.
It is okay every now and then if a few people don't listen to our show.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, there are a few I can think of in my head that really need to stop listening.
Yeah,
And I think Vicky is one of them. Yeah, so Vicky, in fact, you're not allowed to listen. If you're listening right now, turn it off, walk
Yep,
away.
turn it off.
You are banned from KVJ.
You're
because-
mad at us.
yeah,
We're mad at you right back.
just go.
We
Go
don't
find
want you
something else.
either.
I don't want to make your life miserable. And if a flippant comment about a COVID car is going to get you crazy, then just you need something better in life.
He's joking around.
This show's not for you.
He's allowed to. His mom died of COVID. You're allowed to have an opinion about COVID.
If anybody can speak on COVID, it's the guy who
Yeah.
lost a parent.
Yes.
Fucking guy can say whatever he wants.
And don't you dare talk about football.
Oh, I know, right? I wouldn't.
COVID and football, Kev.
Stayed away from that today. Got an email here about the craft beer world. A little interesting because I talked about Steam Horse Brewery, our bud Fran, and it closing. Now, he's got a couple other places, but this is a little bit more information on it. And yeah, I've been a little concerned because I do love the craft beer. And honestly, admittedly, when I was in my craft beer heyday, it was something where I'd packed on a couple LBs, and my trainer at the time was like, dude, you're like drinking a cup of cake every time you have a craft beer. And so now
Not all of them, but maybe some of them, yes.
the
you're
ones I
right.
was drinking, the ones that I love, yeah. I love the
know.
hazy IPAs. There are lots of sugars and all that kind of stuff. And so I do. Now, it changed my mindset. Like, I would go out and have a day of IPAs. I'm on 7 or 8, man. I'm having a great time. But I've realized, okay, if you go out, you got to limit and act like this is a dessert.
No, I was doing the same thing. I was drinking because I don't look at that shit sometimes, especially when I'm drinking. And the flavor that I liked, I forget what it was. I think each can was $4.10.
What?
It was higher alcohol, but it had good flavor. It was 410 calories, and you're drinking 4 of those fucking
Right,
things.
exactly, yeah.
I mean,
Oh my God, that's a lot.
and then you
It
go,
is.
why do I have man tits?
Yeah, I was kind of getting that way. So, but I do still love a great craft beer and have a couple every single week. And Steam Horse was really cool, and I really was rooting for that area. And it just doesn't seem like that warehouse district in West Palm Beach is going to be what I think they thought it was. But she had said, it has come to the attention of many this week that there is actually a lawsuit against Twisted Trunk Brewing, too, for lack of payment on the property with an eviction procedure in place. And she sent me the link, to that on trellis.law/doc and really late.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then just this week, a for lease sign was placed on Tequesta Brewing Company.
What?
Yeah, when the leasing office was contacted, they stated that they expected to have possession in a month.
Oh, no.
So maybe this is more of an issue with the owner than not the industry, because in Martin County, Ocean Republic Brewing is still going strong. It's the first brewery in Martin County. Newly added Fraser Creek Brewing is continually busy, and Sound Brewing in Hope Sound is being built out and expects to draw a large crowd upon opening. That's really good news to hear. So I do love to hear that, and I wish Fran the best. If there's some things going on. Fran had said that COVID really hurt and they weren't able to really recover, and then over the last 2 years, and like I said, I think COVID slowed down. That place launched at the wrong time, and they lost the momentum they had. And they didn't get the big openings.
Keep in mind, IPAs are not the cheapest of drinks either. And
True,
everything's
yeah.
very
Right.
expensive these days, so that's kind of a luxury type of drink right there. If you want to have a few of them, it's
Right.
gonna...
It is, yeah.
It's not going to be at that cheap of a bill.
That's true. Yeah. So there's probably a lot of things, but yeah, I do know, man. One of the things I really want to do is one of these weekends stay in like Vero and really get to the breweries that are up there. Icon, I think, is one of them, and some of the other ones. I've heard great stories, and the tap rooms look amazing. So I do want to do I think it might be a little bit stronger actually north of us.
You need to make sure you hook up with Sass or Salt, our old T-shirt designers, because Derek is an expert on all that up there.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, man. I had a craft beer a couple weeks ago, and I'm used to... I don't drink beer too much anymore. I usually do a whiskey, and I had to rush, and I had to drink it pretty quick, and it was a strong percentage of beer. And holy shit, does that kind of hit you in a different kind of way, like a goofy cartoon woozy way?
Yeah, right.
If there was a banana peel, I would have been whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Karen.
Cool story, Bird.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Got an email from Karen. She was talking about Virginia's story yesterday, and I did look at a couple other stories of the judge, I believe it was Kentucky, that's where it was, rural part of Kentucky, who was shot by his sheriff. And the odd thing was it sounded like they had been friends for a while, with the sheriff previously being his bailiff. They had gone to lunch that day. They came back to the judge's quarters. Seemed like everything was okay. There was a swapping of phones where they looked at each other's phones, and then the sheriff walks behind the judge's desk and fires about 6 or 8 shots in him, killing him, and then he immediately surrenders himself. And as of what I saw last night, nobody really knew what the motive was. Virginia brought in that TikTok video yesterday where some lady was going off about, oh, yeah, he found out that he's having an affair with his 16-year-old daughter. And
The
that's what's going
sheriff
on.
does have a young daughter, because I saw TikToks of the sheriff and his daughter singing "I Shot the Sheriff."
Okay.
But I don't think the judge diddled the daughter.
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, who knows? I mean, I think right now they don't know. And as the story I read on a credible site last night, people even close to the situation who knew them both were just baffled as to what the motive is. So and maybe they do know and they're not saying, but it's just kind of odd. But she brought up the song that we know so well, Benny Mardones, Into the Night. And she said, yeah, actually in the 80s, not only would it not have been a crime, but it would have been a hit song.
That's true.
She's just
16 years old. Leave her alone, they say.
Benny Mardones was 34 years old at the time that he wrote the song about his 16-year-old dog sitter.
Benny.
And by the way, he looks like he is 46 years old in the video. He does not look he don't look like he is in his mid-30s by any
Benny,
means.
known for his musical talent, not his looks.
I'm not trying to bag on looks. I'm just saying he don't look like he looks like I went to high school with him, and he might be a couple years older than me.
And that's a guy that looks undead saying that.
It's just a fucking horrifying video, by the way.
Yeah, she goes into that. She said him looking through the window, then he comes back later with a magic carpet and basically kidnaps her, and then they make out and they fly past the Statue of Liberty. She said, you just got to see it. And yeah, it is. It's a fascinating watch to be like, this was a video that was a hit song in 1980.
He sasses the dad when the dad's telling him to leave because the dad's protecting the... I mean, it is just
to sass the dad.
It is a bizarre...
Whoa.
It's one of the most bizarre videos I've ever seen in my life, to be quite honest with you.
And how did we not have a problem with it in the 80s?
That's what's come back up on TikTok, she's saying. And people are pointing out he is from Ohio. Sorry, Kev. Yeah, but how did that get past everybody's radar even in 1980? I mean, I was 7, so I wasn't
It was
thinking
still
that way at the time. But
It wasn't a I mean, people were still, especially in Hollywood and in music, they did not give a shit.
They didn't care about protecting young girls
No.
at all.
yeah, it is amazing just how our sensibilities have changed so much.
Well, think about the guy, I always forget his name, the guy that sang Jesse's Girl.
Rick
Springfield.
Springfield.
He was dating Linda Blair at the time, openly, and she was really super young. And I saw Joy Behar interview him, and she's like, so what's up with that? Oh, not really, kind of almost
Joking.
and keeping it light about that when really it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think we cared about kids back then. I think we have a new sensibility that, oh, wait, we could really F them up if we don't do this right.
Well, from even teachers were dick faces to kids, where you could smack a kid,
Yeah.
punch a kid.
Kids
Hit
really didn't have
them
advocates back in the day.
With rulers.
You were just supposed to sit there and take it until you turned 18.
I mean, I remember a story where a kid peed in the class, which is so embarrassing for a little kid to pee, first of all, and the teacher yelling at the kid and making the kid clean it all up with the trash from the trash barrel, making it even that much more humiliating. And everybody knew it and was watching it, and that shit would be a national news story now.
Right. Yeah, we grew up some hard times.
I mean, we were going on the tail end of hard times.
Yeah. Well, thank you to Stephanie in Hollywood for clarification on something that I had said in a previous show regarding the death of Lacey Peterson. They're digging up some of these old stories now and making documentaries on them. People just love them. They can't get enough of this crime stuff, the true crime. You had stated that the Innocence Project picked up the Scott Peterson case. I 100% think Scott Peterson did it, so I kind of did some research on it because I thought this is so bizarre. The Innocence Project did not pick this case up. It was the LA Innocence Project, which has zero affiliation. So yeah, I didn't know there were two of them. So there's the Innocence Project, and then there's the LA Innocence Project.
LA is probably a little looser.
I guess so. So I didn't. Yeah,
They think everybody's innocent.
I didn't know there was a difference. Thank you for that. And actually, the IP has on their website that they are not at all affiliated with the LA IP or the Scott Peterson case. So I just wanted to clear this up. I wouldn't want anybody to really think this piece of shit possibly could not have killed his wife. Yeah, I thought the same thing. That's why I was so surprised by it. So thank you for that.
I'm opening up a burger shop. It's called Wendy's 2.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that you could have the Innocence Project and then the LA Innocence Project?
Little confusing.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
What I had thought, and I assumed I shouldn't have, is that they're just where the branches are. Like you probably had the New York Innocence Project.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it does make sense. I mean, I get it.
But it's all the Innocence Project. But okay, so it's not. So thank you for that. Yeah, because that's the only thing that made me second guess it.
That happens sometimes, and it's very confusing. Even here, from pizza places to Miami, all the way up to like the Port St. Lucie area, it'll be the same exact pizza name.
Yes,
but
Vinny's.
But it'll even be like Vinny's Company and stuff. And you call in, you're like, no, we're not Vinny's Company and stuff. We're Vinny's Company and things. Okay. And it's so similar. You think they're affiliated. They're not. Mm-hmm. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Quite confusing.
The other thing is getting a lot of talk is the Menendez brothers. Now, somebody needs to clear this up because I thought my daughter said that she'd already watched it. But according to the story I read, it says premiering October 7th on Netflix.
There's other Menendez brothers stuff out there, so maybe she watched different kind of content.
Yeah, there's probably several.
All right. Yeah, I'm freaking confused by this. I do plan on getting into it at some point when I'm not watching so much football, but Ryan Murphy is the guy who did it. He's defending his series because one of the brothers had come out. It'll feature interviews with Lyle and Eric from prison, along with lawyers, journalists, jurors, and family members. So maybe this is separate. Maybe one was acted. Maybe one is more of a biography with actual interviews.
That's the one I want, the biography.
Right.
I'm not really interested in watching actors play the Menendez brothers.
Oh, I hate that shit.
Come on. We all know the story.
You know what it is? Because I've seen that, because they do have actors doing that. So I guess what it is this will be a follow-up then. And it's smart. You think about it. Everybody's watched the one where they've had the actors version, and now you'll have the one with the people really speaking on it.
The real juice from the family members that were there.
Okay.
The actor one, I feel like that one came out a long time ago. I'm pretty sure they made one. They probably made a few. They do that
It's
with
back
they do
in the
that with
news
murder.
big time. I mean, when you got Kardashians all up in it, you know it's got to be the hot thing going on. And my daughter just watched it and was telling me a little bit about it yesterday. And my wife, I don't know that she has a lot of information. Sometimes she's like Virginia. She pops off with really strong opinions with not any kind of, like, she has a strong opinion before she's watched a show. I'm like, how can you have such a strong, you haven't even watched the first second of it. How can you possibly think you know anything about this story?
We know.
Yeah, I'm like, what the? You're fucking crazy like Virginia. You both are the most insane women I know. Like,
Everywhere you go in your life, you're surrounded by
I
crazy
am.
bitches.
That makes no sense. I'm like, what? How do you... No, she's dead set on it. She knows the whole story already.
Then if I don't get no sleep, you're around a few more crazy
Oh
bitches.
my gosh, yeah.
Because I'm usually like,
I got
He's
nowhere
your
to
craziest
escape.
bitch.
well, because I come in with 3 different bitches in my head. I got all these voices.
I drive away in my car, but it's filled with COVID.
Kevin, you can't talk about COVID.
Kevin, respect it or don't respect it.
I don't even
Wait,
know
what?
anymore.
Tomorrow you should open the show with COVID and football.
And you should be wearing a mask.
So my daughter was telling me she feels like after watching it that they did not do it. Now, they do start with them, I guess, spending a lot of cash right after they murdered their parents.
They didn't
buying
do
Rolex
it?
and things like that. That's what my daughter, she feels like she did. Now, I think you walk away having an opinion one way or the other. And so she walked away feeling like they didn't. And the thing that she said, which is kind of sad. Now, look, if they were just being brutalized by their dad and being sexually molested in terrible ways by him, and they just felt like this was the only way to get away from the torture they were going through, and they just had each other, and they leaned on each other. It seemed like they were just unusually close, which you could imagine if you're going through such a hellish experience you would be. Apparently, when they got to prison, they separated them for 30 years. I didn't know that part of it. That's what my daughter had told me.
Wow.
So can you imagine that? All you knew and your only safe space, your safety blanket was your brother, and then you get to prison for this thing, and then they tear you apart. I think they're together now in San Diego, but for 30 years they spent it apart.
Because back in the day, when I remember that being such a big thing when I was younger, probably teenager time, and the media really made it seem as if they were killing them in cold blood for
They were the bad guys,
nefarious,
the kids.
greedy reasons.
But then when you hear about the dad and what he did, and his own sons may not have been his only victims.
But we
Yeah.
know for a fact that the dad did this stuff.
Well, this is what it is, and I think what's given new credibility to it, there's a former member of Menudo that is speaking out about it. And yeah, if I didn't speak clearly, yes, I guess it's without a doubt. I mean, the brothers did kill their parents, so no question as to that. But it's just, do they deserve sympathy for the reason that they did it?
Right.
And did they do it? Was the motive to get the cash and all the bling, or was it because they were living in this hellscape of being raped repeatedly by their father?
Or it could be a third, which I think still they should get off. The dad abused them for so long. The boys aged out of where the dad could overpower them and abuse them, but they were still mentally traumatized by the abuse. The sexual abuse may have stopped. The dad may have moved on to other new victims, i.e. kids in Menudo, and stopped sexually abusing them, but they're still traumatized by it, and they kill out of revenge. But yes, the money is still awesome too, because their dad is a terrible human.
Right.
So, and typically too, a lot of times when, not all the time, if I remember, I thought they shot them quite a lot of times, And typically, when that stuff kind of happens, there's some rage there. It's
right.
almost,
And they're saying that the mom knew
then I mean,
and didn't protect them.
but then again, I'm a little rusty on this case, so I don't want to say so
and
many wrong things.
Right. I don't have it either. I'm just following the chatter that's going on. Like I said, until football season's over, I'm probably not going to get into it. But I'll watch both because I do want to get familiarized with this story again on what it was. It's been so long that I remember any of the details on it. Chicago Lulu said the acting on the Netflix show was so good. So I'm hearing a lot about it. So people are talking, and I think it brings up an interesting debate about sentences and things like that. Look, I believe you do something bad that, yeah, prison is a good deterrent and people deserve to be there. But for the most part, to me, the people I definitely want in prison are the people that are a danger to society, that they've hurt and they will hurt again. Some people have done something that they deserve a sentence or they deserve something, but I'm not concerned. If, for instance, I were on a bus with the Menendez brothers, I don't know that I'd be like, oh my gosh, they're going to turn around and start killing me.
No, I don't think you'd have to worry about that because you didn't rape the Menendez brothers.
Right.
Their
Yeah.
dad did, is what the accusation is. And the mom looked the other way.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting story. A lot of people are really into it. And I have a feeling that when they drop this newer version, it's going to continue to do well because of all the chatter. Got a good point by Devin here. Said, hey, KVJ, you all are sleeping on UCF with this college talk. Exciting football program this year and good academics. Yeah, I don't, because today was the list of schools that have dropped or risen. Florida State down in the rankings from U.S. World Report. And FIU, FAU were up. But yeah, that's a great point. I am, and I don't know why I'm snoozing on UCF, but football-wise, doing pretty well, and it is a school that is on the rise. They definitely deserve their shine. And I was even thinking about going up there. It came up, and then we shot it down. It's just not going to work out. Orlando this weekend because they've got – have you ever heard of a guy named Deion Sanders?
Yes.
Okay, so his Colorado team's going to be in Orlando. Deion just brings – a storyline with
entertaining.
them. Right. So it's going to be a fun, interesting, I think competitive game because this could be the one where if UCF beats Colorado in good fashion that you'd be like, okay, wake up. UCF is here. And the other thing, this is the one where they've got 69 boys are playing up there this weekend. Remember we heard that? They do Daisy Dukes.
No
and,
shit. They do a few songs
They're
like.
playing up there in correlation with the game.
That's awesome. Old school. Yeah, I love it.
And a buddy of mine and his girlfriend are going there, and they're like, you got to come up. I'm like, yeah, I probably should, but nah, I don't know. It's a lot of effort. So I don't know if I'll make it.
Did 69 Boys do Here Kidda Kidda, Here Kidda Kidda?
They had two.
They had two of those type of songs.
Yeah, they're
yes.
basically the same song.
Yes, but they both go hard. I love those songs.
Yeah.
A lot of those songs sound like the same song.
You could do a mix.
Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, it's Tootsie Roll and
Let me ride that donkey,
I think it's Donkey
donkey.
Butt and Tootsie Roll, right?
Daisy Duke.
Kitty
Daisy
Kitty.
Dukes, yeah.
They rock. They are awesome. I
Yeah.
love all of this.
Right, I thought it'd be
Wow.
fun, just go to that show and be like, just to see what it is, because
I love those songs.
it'd now be a bunch of middle-aged people shaking their ass, but, I'm sure
One of the guys in the 69 Boys is named Thrill to Playa. I love that.
They might be from Belle Glade.
Really?
They might be because, and I think I remember that because they have one of their songs where they're doing shouted like Miami, ba da 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 da. I remember listening to it, they're going Belle Glade. I'm like, Belle Glade? Like, who shouts out Belle Glade out of nowhere? And I think it was one of those boys, the Miami bass sound, one of those groups.
Okay, Thrill to Playa is from Jacksonville.
Okay.
And
I think it'd be 69 boys is what I'm asking. Are any of them from Belle Glade? Because I'm like, that's so random.
You ever hear of this Black Pack?
No.
Really?
No.
They're from out of West Palm Beach area, and
Okay.
they're during that same kind of time period. You never heard "Slow Head" by them?
Slow
I need
Head.
some slow head. I need some slow head, girl.
No, it
really.
escaped my area. I mean, I wasn't in South Florida then. So.
That may have been a local hit.
It wasn't.
Yeah. I
Slow
I
Head.
didn't hit Southeastern Ohio.
I mean, everybody does enjoy Slow Head, but the song didn't
Right.
make its way.
I
Somebody's
mean, it
got,
sounds like a classic.
someone has to know what I'm talking
I'll drop
about.
it into Songs Time Forgot this
It's-
week. And
it sounds like a Christmas classic.
yeah, should we bring Slowhead back to the radio?
It's a jam.
I just want to hear the kids singing it.
Maybe I'll bring it in tomorrow for the podcast.
I'll teach it to Rocco.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was a bigger hit, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll try to figure that out, but I thought it was one of those groups that was from Belglade. And this is a positive call out. Leave on a positive note here. Calling out Jason Jaybird Pennington. For the last week and a half, you have shown nothing but the utmost commitment that 99% of people do not have. Every day you do the work to dress as Bertle Juice without hesitation or complaint, even in the physical condition that you are in, and that's why I'm writing you in for president and Bertle Juice as your VP. It's a win-win for all of us. Could you imagine the press conferences where Jaybird would come out and talk and be like, let me introduce you to my vice president. You have to run back and put on face paint and put on.
My
and
gosh.
then you'd have to limp out there. Oh, yeah.
Part of the pizza party.
Yeah. Gosh, that'd be amazing. You know what? I think you got my vote too.
Yeah, why not?
I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do in this wacky election. So I think now I know. Thank you for the suggestion.
If enough people write in Bertle Juice, will the news have to acknowledge that he did get a small percentage?
She's so dumb. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Trying to get you on the ballot, you dick.
That was Bertle Juice talking.
All right, y'all. Thank you for most of the emails. Send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.